Is Dragon Ball Z overrated? Dragon Ball Z is one of the most widely successful and accepted international phenomenons and probably the most famous Japanese anime series ever. You could make an argument about Pokemon and a few others, but without a doubt, DBZ is one of the only shows that is internationally beloved. But some people think it doesn't deserve to be, and others actually do believe that it's the best anime of all time. But on this video, we're going to take an unbiased look, and yes, I know I'm a Dragon Ball channel, but still, I'm going to take an unbiased look at this question and come up with the best possible answer for all of you. Let's go. So is Dragon Ball Z overrated? Yes, I know this is a Dragon Ball channel, but I want to look at this from a very objective perspective, and I want to talk about whether or not the series is overrated. Now, before you leave your comments, I would encourage you to please, listen to our discussion first and then give your thoughts. And also, I want to let you guys know this is actually one half of a two-part discussion where on my channel, we're talking about is DBZ overrated, and on his channel, the man who I'm about to introduce right now, we're talking about is Dragon Ball underrated. So please welcome my partner in crime for this video. Like I said, check out his channel. I will leave a link down below for you to check out the Is Dragon Ball Overrated or Is Dragon Ball Underrated video. Please welcome the Frozen Particle. Hello.
Hello guys, welcome back to yet another video. Happy to be here, man.
Yes, with your infamous intro. So let's talk about DBZ being overrated, all right? Now, Dragon Ball Z is hugely popular. It actually, inspired people to do great things. It's a very influential series, but is it really the best anime ever? And first of all, yes or no question, Nathan. Is DBZ the best anime? And we're talking about just Z, okay? Just want to clarify this. We're not talking about Dragon Ball GT or Super, just Z. Nathan, is Dragon Ball Z, in your opinion, the best anime of all time?
No.
Okay, now, the reason why I asked that is because a lot of Dragon Ball Z fans do consider it to be the best anime of all time, even though they've only seen a handful of anime. And I'm always of the opinion that if you're going to compare one show to another show of its ilk, you need to at least see a substantial portion of its competitors. So if you've seen Yu Yu Hakusho, if you've seen a bunch of Gundams, if you've seen, Full Metal Alchemist, which Full Metal Alchemist is also considered by many to be the best anime ever, then if you say DBZ is the best, or is your personal favorite? I mean, your favorite's all about opinion, but as far as it being the best, like as far as overall quality start to finish, I also don't think it's the best, but if you do, it's okay. So that kind of answers the question about it being, I guess overrated by some. However, I feel, Nathan, that a lot of the anime snobs, and what I mean by that is the anime fans who just don't like Dragon Ball, and they are out there, I think it's the opposite. So what do you think?
I mean, yeah, I think that Dragon Ball Z is sort of underrated when it in terms of the anime snobs dissing it, because it's done great things. It's helped people so much, and maybe it's not the best anime in the world. Nothing's perfect, but it's done good things to people. It's built careers. It's made Toriyama a lot of money, even though he was a millionaire before with Dr. Slump. But yeah, is it the best anime? No, but I think it's certainly not overrated just because a few anime snobs, say it sucks compared to other anime.
Yeah, and the thing about anime snobs that does kind of piss me off, that knock on Dragon Ball, is yes, Dragon Ball obviously is not perfect. There's a lot of flaws here. There's animation mistakes. There are plot holes. There are story contrivances. It drags on a lot. Nobody's going to sit here and say that Dragon Ball Z is a perfect series. You just can't say that. There's a lot of problems with it. But I think that a lot of anime snobs, one thing that does irritate me is that a lot of them got into anime because of Dragon Ball. They basically became became anime hipsters. They started watching Dragon Ball as a kid, right? Then they graduated to more sophisticated, more thought-provoking anime. And there's nothing wrong with that, Nathan. If you get into movies by watching, I don't know, The Little Mermaid, and then later on in your life you start watching stuff like A Clockwork Orange and you start to appreciate that more, there's nothing wrong with that. But I feel a lot of anime elitists forget that DBZ is what got them into it. They forget that DBZ is, that for many people, the gateway drug to anime. And I think that deserves respect. And I also think that in some ways, Nathan, DBZ is very underrated because a lot of people never pick up on the themes of the series. They don't pick up on some of the subtext. A lot of people just focus on, you know, the screaming and the muscles. That seems to be the perspective from those who have never seen the series, that DBZ is all screaming and muscles and long, drawn-out fights, and that is part of it, but they don't understand like the development of the characters, Vegeta's character arc, Gohan's character arc, the heartwarming and touching moments, all these things that make DBZ and really all of Dragon Ball special. I think that it's underrated in that aspect. However, I do think there are some people who are just DBZ fanboys who don't really watch other anime. Now, I am not an anime purist at all. I am mostly a Dragon Ball fan, but I cannot sit here and confidently say that Dragon Ball Z is the best anime because, first of all, I don't think that's true. Second of all, I don't think I have the knowledge of other anime to be able to say that. Like, if I watched a lot of anime, and I watch anime, but I'm saying if I watched like as much as, I don't know, let's throw some names out there like Sawyer 7 Mage or some of these guys, Hail Zeon, who have like entire walls, Nathan, dedicated to different anime series, you know, then I could freaking make that comment. But I'm mostly just a Dragon Ball fan. But even as a Dragon Ball fan, I do think that DBZ may be a little bit overrated, but at the same time, I think it's also very underrated. I think DBZ should be seen by people who like stuff like The Walking Dead and Game of Thrones, because DBZ was like that before those shows even existed. Maybe not in terms of quality, but they're adaptations from books. They have recurring arcs and things like that. They sometimes struggle to keep up with the books and vice versa. So, you know what I mean? I think that, I don't think DBZ is overrated, but do you think that DBZ is overrated in comparison to other Dragon Ball series, like Dragon Ball, for example? Like, what do you think? How do you compare it to other shonen shows?
I think it is overrated because a lot of people say that Dragon Ball Z has the best fight scenes, and Dragon Ball Z's fight scenes are awesome, but they're not perfect. There is animation loops, like, you know, those GIFs on the internet, how it's just like looping animation of Dragon Ball Z fights. That's what Toei does. Like, they just cut corners with the animation a lot. So in comparison to other shonen, it's possibly overrated compared to other shonen, but in comparison to the other Dragon Ball series like GT, Super, and the original Dragon Ball, I think it's pretty... I don't think it's overrated yet. I don't think it's underrated either. It's sort of in its own bubble, and I think that's the way Dragon Ball Z should be sort of critiqued, because Toriyama, he doesn't intend to write high art. Like, he just intends to write a fun action-adventure story with lots of references to his favorite sort of movies and cultures. So, yeah, it shouldn't be considered like high art, you know?
Yeah, but in some ways, the guy really is a visionary. He really is a genius. I mean, he really is. When you look into, like, some of the references he pulls from and some of the real culture, Derek Padula has covered this extensively in his books, and I've covered it as well in Dragon Ball In Depth. Toriyama really is a genius mind, and you know what, dude? He started a lot of these other anime. Like, One Piece and Naruto and Bleach have taken influence from Dragon Ball. It's not even a joke, but that we're talking about all of Dragon Ball. DBZ itself, I do think, is overrated by many because they don't explore the rest of Dragon Ball or the rest of anime. However, I think it is underrated by those outside of the Dragon Ball fandom. I think that I always felt, Nathan, that if Dragon Ball had a really good dub when it first came out, and it was, you know, top notch, you know, if they didn't have these problems they had back then, good audio, and if they aired it on prime time, like after The Simpsons. I would say it would be hugely successful if it did that. I've always stuck to that, and I think it's true. I really do. So there you go. Anyways, folks, check out the Frozen Particles channel. We have the other half of the discussion, which is Dragon Ball underrated? Not Z, the original series. Is it too slept on? Nathan and I discussed it over there. Do you have anything else to say before we get out of here?
No, man, I think it's depending on where you're coming from and what type of fan you are to dictate the question, is Dragon Ball Z underrated and overrated? It really just depends.
Yes, that's exactly what we agree. We agree totally. And let us know your thoughts also. Try to look at it from an unbiased perspective, okay? Unbiased. You might have grown up a DBZ fanboy. Maybe you didn't. It's fine. Let us know what you think. Thank you so much. We'll talk to y'all down the road.